this is Michael Hale from Red Zone Radio. Day 30 since the military's final confirmed command transmission went silent. It's 6 in the morning, and if you're hearing this, you're still here. That counts for something. That counts for a lot.
I'm Jenny Cross. Sunrise check-in is live. Same protocol as every morning. We start with verified survivor reports, route safety, water status, medical needs, and threat movement. If you're new to this frequency, stay with us and listen before you move.
We are still broadcasting from Manhattan. We are not giving our exact location. Don't ask for it on open frequency. If you need contact, use the relay pattern we repeat at the top and bottom of every hour.
Overnight check-ins received so far. Brooklyn Safe Haven, Bronx Compound Delta, Lower East Relay, and one partial transmission from Staten Island that cut before head count. Manhattan South remains silent.
That's 5 mornings now, with no verified check-in from Manhattan South.
We also got overnight shortwave messages from outside New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Ohio, and one from Arizona. People are still holding in pockets. Not many, but enough to matter.
Before anything else, listen carefully. If you hear a voice claiming federal restoration, emergency evacuation, military transport, or government safe campers location, do not respond. Those are false broadcasts. Raiders are using old equipment and emergency language to bait survivors.
We had 3 messages overnight asking about a so-called restoration corridor north of Yonkers. It's fake. Stay away.
The U.S. military collapsed as a national command structure. Whatever remains are scattered units, isolated crews, deserters, or armed groups wearing old uniforms. Some help, some rob, some kill. A uniform is not proof of anything anymore.
We know a lot of you are tired. We know some of you are listening alone. Stay with us anyway. We do this every morning because coordination is survival now.
Day 30 morning check-in protocol. When you call in or send shortwave relay, give us only what we need. Neighborhood or county, count head, injuries, infection status, water status, and immediate threats. Do not read out your full stockpile or exact sleeping location over open air.
And if you're moving, tell us direction and destination, not your route in detail. Raiders are listening too.
All right, Jenny, start with overnight messages.
First message came in at 4:20 from Brooklyn Safe Haven. Hand pump in church basement still working. Water cloudy but usable after boil. Need iodine tablets. 1 elderly fever case, no bite, no turn symptoms. 2 teens arrived from Queens saying bridge approach roads had heavy movement before dawn.
Mark that. Queens Movement Report number 1.
Marked. Second message from Bronx Compound Delta at 4:43. 1 perimeter breach overnight, contained, no losses. Ammunition low, looking to trade tools for canned food and batteries. Warning, fake National Guard voice on AM around midnight using wrong code phrases.
That's good radio discipline. If the code phrase sounds off, trust your gut and disengage.
Third message from a relay near Macon County, Georgia. Can hear your station on clear nights. Highway routes blocked. Former soldiers in mixed uniforms running fuel checkpoints. Some are fair, some are raiders. Can't tell until too late.
That's not just Georgia. We're hearing versions of that from all over.
One more from outside Columbus, Ohio. School gym shelter stable. Lost power week 2. Ex-Army mechanic helping fortify buses as barriers. Rumors of a military base east of us still active, but no proof.
Rumors of active bases are everywhere. Treat all of them as unconfirmed until we get repeat verification.
We should do supply status.
New York City supply status, day 30. Food remains rationed almost everywhere we can verify. If you still have canned goods, rotate what you eat. Don't burn your best calories in one day because panic makes you hungry. Think in weeks, not meals.
Scavenging protocol reminder. Minimum 2 people, preferably 3. 1 scans, 1 gathers, 1 carries. No shouting, no arguments in public. If a place looks untouched after 30 days, assume it's dangerous before you assume it's lucky.
Don't take carts. Don't overload. Weight gets people killed. Carry what you can run with.
Medical shortage reports are climbing, especially insulin and antibiotics. If you're in a group with extra supplies and you want to trade, use the noon trade board format. Do not announce exact quantities live.
Fact water reports next. Verified safe or treatable sources as of this morning. Brooklyn church basement hand pump, boil required. Bronx school boiler tap, slow flow but steady. North Harlem rooftop collection working after filtration. Staten Island report incomplete, unverified. Queens sources unstable because of movement reports.
We also need to repeat the Queens warning. Multiple overnight messages reported large movement heading toward outer Queens. We don't have a count yet.
If you're in eastern Queens, conserve energy and prep to relocate without waiting for a second warning. Pack light, carry water, and move before roads choke.
We do the tribute segment at 7, but before that we should open check-ins. We're already getting requests.
Lines are open. Remember the rule. Keep it short unless you're reporting active danger. Women calling in, I'll handle the call. Men calling in, Jenny handles it. That's how we keep pace and avoid confusion.
First live caller is a woman from Brooklyn Safe Haven. Michael, she's yours.
You're live on Red Zone. Give me your name or alias and your status.
Nina, Brooklyn Safe Haven Relay. We sent the overnight shortwave message, but things changed since then.
Go ahead, Nina. Slow and clear. Start with head count.
Head count 52 at dawn. We were 54 last night. 2 left around 5:30. Teen boys. Same 2 that came in from Queens.
They left voluntarily?
Yeah, wouldn't listen. Said they had family near Jamaica and couldn't wait.
Understood. Any injuries in your group besides the fever case you reported?
1 sprained ankle, 2 bad coughs, 1 cut that looks clean. Elderly woman still feverish, but no bite, no confusion, no aggression. We isolated her anyway.
Good. Keep isolation strict until fever breaks. How's your water holding?
Hand pumps working, but slower. We've got enough containers for maybe a day if we cycle. Fuel for boiling is the bigger problem.
Copy that. Put fuel priority on your trade board request at noon. Don't list your total water containers. Just list need type.
Nina, we heard something before dawn. Not close. I don't know how to say it. It sounded like a crowd moving, but no voices. Just impact noise. Long time, like 10 minutes.
From which direction?
East, northeast, toward Queenside. We went quiet and listened. You could feel it through the floor more than hear it.
That's consistent with the other reports. Did you get visual?
No. We don't go rooftop before full light unless it's fire.
Good. Don't change that. Any human activity overnight? Raiders, fake checkpoints, signal bait?
We caught a fake evacuation loop around midnight on AM. Male voice, too clean, too confident. Kept saying federal corridor and civilian processing center. We had one older guy in our shelter almost walk out because of it.
You did the right thing stopping him. Those loops are killing people.
I know. I'm just tired of watching hope get weaponized.
I hear you.
Nina, can I ask something not for trade board?
Go ahead.
Nina, do you think any actual government is left? Not fake radio, not raiders, real command, anywhere.
I think small local governments exist in pockets. County offices, police remnants, community groups. Real national command? We haven't verified it in 30 days. If it exists, it hasn't reached us in a way we can trust.
That's what I thought.
Nina, your group is doing the right things. Water discipline, isolation, no rooftop exposure before light, no chasing fake broadcasts. Keep doing boring things well. That's survival right now.
People keep asking me if we're safe. I don't know what to tell them anymore.
Tell them this. Safety isn't a place now. It's a practice. You keep watch, you filter water, you ration food, you don't panic, and you move early when the route still exists. That's as close to safe as anybody gets.
That's good. I'll use that.
Last thing, if those 2 teens check back in from Queens, get names and route markers. We need movement data.
I will. Thanks, Michael.
Stay alive, Nina. Brooklyn Safe Haven remains verified as of 6:19 a.m. Fuel shortage, fever isolation, Queens movement audible overnight.
That's what mornings sound like now. Not panic, just people trying to hold a system together with paper lists and radio batteries.
And that's exactly how we keep going.
We have a mail caller from the Bronx asking about supply routes and scavenging protocols. Jenny takes mail callers, so he's mine. You're live. Name or alias, location, and question.
Lewis, Bronx Compound Delta. We sent the message about ammo shortage. I'm on runner duty. Need route advice.
Go ahead, Lewis. What's your target and what's your current block status?
We need batteries, canned food, and anything for water treatment. Maybe tools for trade too. Problem is, the pharmacy strip near us got picked clean, and 2 grocery spots are burned. We got one route north and one west, but north has parked cars jammed, and west got a dead cluster by the underpass.
How many in your run team and what kind of gear?
3 people. Pipes, 1 hunting rifle with 8 rounds, 1 handgun with maybe 10. No body armor, 1 crowbar.
Okay. First thing, don't spend those rifle rounds on single walkers unless they pin you. Use height, doors, and barriers. Second, avoid underpass routes if you already know a dead cluster sits there. Noise traps. Sound carries weird under concrete.
The north route's messy though. Cars everywhere.
Messy can be good if you know it. Parked car jams slow you down, but they also break line of sight. Take the north route if you've walked it before. Move rooftop to stair access if possible, then drop only when you're near target.
We didn't think rooftop because of exposure.
You're right to worry about exposure. Don't skyline yourselves. Stay low, use setbacks, and only cross roofs you know can hold weight. But rooftops can save you from ground funnels if your streets are choked.
What about a military checkpoint 2 blocks past the underpass? Somebody said there might still be MREs.
Treat abandoned military checkpoints as hazardous sites, not supply stores. You might find food. You might also find dead and armor, live ammo, fuel leaks, or desperate people already watching it. Do not make that your primary target.
We lost a guy last week at a police van. He went for shotgun shells.
I'm sorry? What happened?
He opened the side door, and one of the dead was still jammed inside. Turned right into him. We got him back, but he was bit under the wrist wrap. He asked us not to tell his sister how bad it looked.
You don't need to say more. I understand.
I keep hearing people say the military should have stopped this, and I know that doesn't help, but I still think it every day.
A lot of people think it. You're not wrong for feeling it, but the next run still has to happen whether you're angry or not, so let's get you through it.
Yeah, okay.
Target priorities in order. Batteries first, water treatment second, canned food third, tools fourth. Skip luxury items. Skip bulky items. If you find medicine, take sealed antibiotics, pain meds, antiseptic, bandages, gloves. Leave random unlabeled stuff.
Batteries, water, canned, tools. Got it.
Set a hard turnaround time before you leave. Not when bags are full. A clock time. Example, in by 7:10, out by 7:28 no matter what. The people who die on runs usually die because they stay 5 minutes too long.
That's true.
Any reports in the Bronx of fake military broadcasts or mixed uniform groups?
Yeah, last night. Guard Logistic Unit, they call themselves. Said they were distributing fuel vouchers. Fuel vouchers. Like it's normal life.
Fuel vouchers.
Yeah, my uncle almost cried hearing it. Sounded official. Sounded like somebody was in charge again.
That's why we repeat the warning. They use the voice people miss.
You think Queens is really getting hit big?
We have multiple independent reports of movement, but no full count yet. Assume the threat is real and getting closer. If your group has family in Queens, try shortwave check-ins now before routes collapse.
My cousin's in Jamaica, maybe. Haven't heard him in a week.
Put his name and last known cross streets on the noon relay board. Keep it general. Somebody might have seen him.
Okay. Thanks, Jenny. Seriously.
You got this. 3-person team, north route, strict turnaround time, no checkpoint gamble. Call back after your run if you make it.
I will.
Bronx Compound Delta Runner Lewis. Route advisory complete at 6:31 a.m.
That's the work. It sounds small, but it's not small. A route call can be the difference between a community eating and not eating.
We are coming up on 7. Tribute segment.
Yeah.
Every week we read names of people confirmed lost by our verified groups. We don't do it to make anyone spiral. We do it because memory is part of survival too. If we stop saying names, this all turns into numbers.
We keep it brief and respectful. If your group wants to submit names, use the memorial format and get permission from whoever's left, if possible.
New York City area memorial roll for the previous week. Angela Ruiz, Lower East Relay Runner. Thomas Keene, Bronx Perimeter Watch. Reverend Paul Mercer, Brooklyn Safe Haven Water Team. Denise Holloway, Queens Nurse Volunteer. Malik Jefferson, Astoria Barricade Crew. Elena Park, Manhattan Kitchen Collective. Officer Raymond Soto, retired, Washington Heights Watch Post. Private First Class Daniel Chen, reported lost during Fort Hamilton evacuation. Sergeant Jacob Miller, National Guard, unconfirmed remains. Family requests inclusion.
We remember them.
We remember all of them.
Measured. If you're listening and you knew one of those names, you take a breath right now. You keep going because somebody kept going for you.
We also received a note from a mother in Brooklyn asking us to say this line for her son who's missing. Tommy, if you're out there, your blue backpack is still by the door. We didn't leave without looking. That's all she asked us to read.
Copy that.
Okay, we move on. We have to.
We do.
We're getting another female caller. Michael takes it.
You're live. Name or alias, location, and status.
Tasha, Queens, Outer Queens, near the old strip mall by the service road. I don't know if we're still considered outer. I need help.
You're okay. Slow down and give me group size first.
6. No, 7 if you count my uncle, but he can't walk fast. He hurt his knee. We were 12 2 days ago.
Understood. Any bites in your group?
No bites. Cuts, yes. 1 kid fever. Not bit, just fever. We got almost no water left.
What's the immediate threat? Visual, sound, or second-hand report?
Visual, from last night. We were on the roof at dusk. We saw movement down the service road, then more. It looked like a whole black river. Not running, just pushing. We heard fences going.
Direction of movement.
West, toward us, then maybe turning a little south. I couldn't tell. It was too many.
You did the right thing calling. First, you need to prep for relocation if you haven't already. Are you in a building you can defend for 1 more hour?
Maybe. Ground floor's blocked, stairwell's narrow, roof access works, but the windows on the 2nd floor are weak.
Any vehicles?
2 cars. No fuel. We siphoned what we could a week ago.
Fine. This becomes a foot move. You need a route, not a stand. Are there nearby groups you trust?
Maybe a church group west of us, but we haven't traded with them. There was a school shelter north, but we heard it got hit.
Don't move north if you're unsure and the horde's using that corridor. Move west or southwest early, before street noise builds. Pack only water, meds, food, and anything the uncle needs to move. Leave furniture, leave keepsakes, leave anything that slows you down.
My mom keeps trying to pack photo albums.
I understand why, but paper doesn't keep her alive. Tell her 1 small item if she must, not a bag. Everyone gets 1 comfort item max. The rest is weight.
Okay.
How old are the kids?
10 and 14. The fever's the 10-year-old.
Keep the fever kid in the center of your group while moving. Not in front, not trailing. Any masks or cloth coverings left?
Scarves and shirts.
Good enough. Dust and smell can make people panic. Cover faces if it helps them stay calm.
Michael, are we too late?
No. You're calling before full street noise and before panic traffic. That's PRID timing. Too late is when you wait for confirmation while the road fills. You're not doing that.
Okay.
Listen closely. Build your walking order now. Strongest adult front, then kid 1, then fever kid with support, then your uncle with 1 person locked to him. Strongest adult rear. No one breaks line for dropped items.
Strong front, kids middle, uncle supported, strong rear. No one breaks line.
If you hit a stalled group or barricade that looks confused, don't push through. Turn early. Confused people become loud people.
Yeah.
Do you have any weapon at all?
Kitchen knives and 1 bat. That's it.
Fine, then your strategy is avoidance, not fighting. Keep distance, move quiet, use alleys only if you already know they're clear. Main rule is momentum. Slow and steady beats hiding too long.
What if we see one of those broadcasts? The vans with speakers. We saw one last week saying medical aid.
Do not approach any vehicle broadcasting aid. Not military, not medical, not government. If it's real help, they won't need a loudspeaker to hunt people down.
My uncle still thinks the government will come back.
Maybe someday some form of it does, but not this morning, not for your street. Your people are your plan right now.
You say that like you've said it a lot.
I have.
Sorry.
Don't apologize, just move. One more thing. When you stop, send a shortwave or relay check-in with head count and cross streets. We need to track the horde route and survivor movement.
I will. We're leaving in 10 minutes.
Leave in 5 if you can. Queen's Caller, Tasha, group of 7, visual on large movement westbound overnight, evacuating on foot with 1 non-mobile adult and 1 fever child. Stay alive.
Thank you, Michael.
That's the 3rd independent Queen's report, and the clearest one yet.
Yeah, we call it now. Large horde movement confirmed toward Queen's corridors. Count, unknown.
I'm putting it on repeat notice.
Do it.
Red Zone Advisory, 6:48 a.m. Multiple verified survivor reports confirm large horde movement in outer Queens sectors, moving west-southwest. Exact count unknown. Survivors in eastern and outer Queens should begin relocation planning immediately.
We go to the top of the hour with check-ins and route boards. Then we shift into mid-morning survival session. Today we need to cover military variants and old checkpoint dangers. Too many people are approaching former military sites like they're safe.
Because people still want to believe the uniform means something.
It means something. Just not what it used to. It's 8 o'clock, day 30, mid-morning. You're listening to Red Zone Radio. We're moving into what we call survival school. Practical, ugly, and necessary. Today's topic is military dead, abandoned checkpoints, and why the military fell so fast.
We delayed this topic for a while because a lot of people listening lost family in the military. Some still don't know what happened to them, but we need to talk about it now because more survivors are encountering military dead in the streets and at old positions.
If you see military dead, you do not treat them like ordinary walkers. Some are armored. Some still have gear strapped on. Some are moving in patterns survivors describe as formation drift. It's not intelligence. It's muscle memory and group movement behavior, but it makes them more dangerous.
We also have confirmed reports of accidental discharges near armed military dead. The virus doesn't pull triggers, but damaged weapons, pressure, impact, and snagging can still cause rounds to go off.
Which means abandoned checkpoints and convoy sites are dual threat zones. Dead plus live ammunition.
We have a mail caller who reported seeing military dead still moving in rows. Jenny takes mail callers, so he's with me. You're live. Name or alias, location, and tell me what you saw.
Tom, South Jersey, just outside Newark Route. I was with 2 guys scavenging a toll access road near an old National Guard staging area.
Start with your group status. Any injuries?
1 cut from barbed wire, no bites. We're back at our shelter now.
Good. Now tell me about the military dead.
They were on the road shoulder at first, maybe 8 or 9. We thought they were bodies because they were all in gear, same direction, helmets, packs, some with rifles hanging. Then one turned and the others started drifting with it. Not rushing, just like they were still marching to somewhere.
Were they clustered tight or spaced out?
Spaced, like loose formation. Not clean rows, but enough to make your stomach drop.
Did they react to sound immediately?
One of the guys kicked a can by mistake, and they all pulled toward us fast, faster than I expected with the gear on. We backed out. Then one hit a guardrail, and his rifle went off, loud. Everybody froze.
That's the discharge warning right there. Did the shot draw more dead?
Yeah, from behind the checkpoint tents. We didn't even know they were there. We ran.
Good. Did you notice condition of the checkpoint itself? Burned, looted, intact?
Half burned. Sandbags, 1 overturned truck. Looked like they tried to hold and then just disappeared. There were signs for medical screening in decon lanes. Still up. Decon lanes. They were screening people while this thing was spreading, like paperwork was going to fix it. A lot of units were trying to follow protocols that stopped making sense by the hour. That doesn't help you now, but it matters for understanding what you're walking into. We found one of those military dead later by the trees. He had a patch still on. I recognized the unit. My brother was Army. Not same unit, but I don't know. It messed me up.
I'm sorry, Tom.
I keep thinking some of them were probably trying. People talk like the military failed, and yeah, they did, but those guys on that road looked like they died standing where they were told.
A lot of them did.
What do we do if we need supplies from places like that? There could be ammo, medical kits, fuel.
You treat it like a hazardous recovery. Never go in with fewer than 3 people. Never enter from the obvious road approach. Observe from distance first. Watch for dead movement patterns, human watchers, and signs of recent scavenging. If you hear any active radio voice claiming secure site, leave immediately.
Okay.
Gear priorities from former checkpoints, if and only if site is truly clear. Sealed water, medical kits, batteries, gloves, cutting tools, maps. Ammo only if someone in your group already knows the weapon platform. Don't grab rifles you can't maintain. That was going to be my next question. A rifle isn't a magic answer. Unclean weapon, wrong ammo, no training, panic hands. It's a liability. People keep saying there are military zombies that are smarter. Is that true? No evidence they're smarter. They're just harder to stop because of armor and gear. And sometimes they move in ways survivors read as intentional. Don't mythologize them. Respect the danger. And plan around it. That helps. One more question. Any signs of living people using that checkpoint now?
Couldn't confirm, but there was a tarp line behind the truck that looked newer than the rest. Could have been wind, could have been people.
Then don't go back without reconnaissance. Human ambush near military sites is common now.
Yeah, everybody thinks military leftovers mean treasure.
Sometimes they mean braves.
Yeah.
Tom, thank you. South Jersey report confirms armored military dead, accidental rifle discharge risk, and likely hidden dead at abandoned checkpoint.
Thanks, Jenny, and if anyone hears this and has people missing from guard units, I'm sorry. I really am.
That's the thing people don't say enough. The military collapse wasn't one event. It was thousands of small positions failing under impossible conditions.
We should explain why it happened so fast, at least what we understand.
Right. Survivors ask this every day. How did the most powerful military in the world collapse in a month? Here's the short version. Contamination spread inside ranks. Barracks, transport, field hospitals, checkpoints, close quarters everywhere. Protocol delays, conflicting orders, units trying to screen civilians while also holding lines, infection moving faster than command updates.
And when chain of command starts breaking, military strength turns into military vulnerability. Dense staging, standardized movement, shared supply lines. Once those fail, everything fails at once.
Add in exhaustion, civilians flooding checkpoints, rules of engagement confusion, and troops trying to get to their own families. The system wasn't built for what this became.
We got a message overnight from a military family in Queens. Wife hasn't heard from her husband since day 11. He was deployed with National Guard support around Long Island approaches. She says their son still sleeps with his dad's cap.
We hear versions of that every day.
We're opening a mail caller question line for long-term survival strategy. Jenny takes mail callers. First one says he found an old checkpoint and wants scavenging advice. You're live. Name or alias, location, and what did you find?
Rick, Staten Island. I found an abandoned Humvee near an overrun checkpoint. Rifle rack inside, I think 6 rifles, maybe more. We might finally be set.
Slow down, Rick. First question, are you there now or did you leave?
I'm back home base. Me and my cousin left it where it was and came back to ask first. Figured that's what you guys would say.
Good decision. That's exactly right. Any signs of debt nearby? Human activity?
Dead, yes. 3 on the road, maybe more under a tarp pile. Human signs maybe, couldn't tell. Doors on the Humvee were open already.
Then assume somebody's watching it or has already trapped it. An open military vehicle on day 30 is bait half the time.
You think it's booby-trapped?
Could be intentionally trapped. Could also be dangerous by accident. Bad ammo, damaged equipment, fuel leak, unstable load. Either way, it can kill you fast if you rush.
Okay, so how do we do it right?
If you go back, minimum 4 people. 1 overwatch, 1 spotter, 1 primary entry, 1 carrier. Approach from cover, not directly from road. Watch the vehicle for 10 minutes before touching it. Look for wire, unusual tension on doors, anything stacked to fall, and any signs someone wants you to focus on the rifles while missing the surroundings.
Overwatch, spotter, entry, carrier, 10-minute watch.
Next, do any of you know those rifles? Cleaning, loading, malfunction clearing?
I shot at a range like twice.
That's not enough to bet lives on. If you recover them, the first mission is not armed up. The first mission is inspection and learning. Weapons without training cause friendly casualties.
We need something, though. We got bats and 1 revolver.
I know. I'm not telling you to leave them. I'm telling you to survive the recovery and respect what you're taking. Those rifles were left behind because somebody died trying to use them.
Yeah.
Prioritize ammo condition. If rounds are wet, corroded, or mixed calibers, don't trust them. Recover magazines, cleaning kits, slings, and any gloves. A lot of value at military sites isn't the rifle itself.
What about body armor? We saw some in the truck bed.
Body armor can help, but damaged plates can fail, and carriers slow you down. Test fit before you commit. Mobility matters more than looking armored.
My cousin already called dibs on the vest.
Tell your cousin dibs don't stop bites.
Fair enough.
One more thing, Rick. You mentioned Staten Island. Are you seeing more organized armed groups there? Ex-military types?
Yeah. Everybody's talking about some guy calling himself General Marcus. My cousin says he's got clean patrols and rules and all that. Other people say he takes half your food if you cross his streets.
We've heard the name.
If Queens gets overrun, people are going to run here. Marcus's people are already setting inspection posts.
Then your group needs to decide now whether you're independent, allied, or moving. Don't wait until armed men are making choices for you.
We don't have enough people to stay independent if this gets worse.
Then talk to neighboring groups before Marcus talks to all of you separately. Communities survive better than households.
That's good advice.
Call back after the Humvee recovery if you attempt it, and do not announce the exact cross street over open radio.
Got it. Thanks, Jenny. General Marcus. There it is again.
We were going to save that for later, but if the calls keep bringing it up...
Then we address it. Noon hour. Human threats, ex-military factions, and what order means when government is gone.
And we still have Queen's movement building.
Yeah, keep the emergency lane open. It's 10 o'clock, late morning, day 30. You're listening to Red Zone Radio, and this hour is Frequencies of Hope and Deception. We're talking ghost signals, false military broadcasts, and how to tell the difference between a real relay and a trap.
We've been tracking more false rescue broadcasts this week than any week since the collapse. Some are obvious, some are very convincing. Some are using old emergency broadcast loops and military phrasing.
We also keep hearing rumors of military remnants regrouping, independent units broadcasting rescue coordinates, and active command relays. I want to be clear. We have not verified any intact military chain of command. Not one.
That doesn't mean no survivor survived. It means don't confuse survivors with command.
Exactly.
We have a female caller who says she followed one of those coordinates and lost people.
You're live. Name or alias, location, and start from the beginning.
Sarah. Used to be in Queens, now in a church basement in Brooklyn. 3 nights ago we heard a broadcast on AM. Male voice, military tone, gave rescue coordinates and said remaining civilians report by family unit. It sounded real.
How many were in your group when you moved?
11. We were 11.
And now?
8.
I'm sorry. Tell me what happened.
We moved before sunrise, like the message said. Coordinates were near an old warehouse lot by the tracks. We saw a truck with a tarp and 2 guys in uniforms, army uniforms, dirty but real looking. One of them waved and shouted, "Civilians this way."
Did they use names, unit codes, anything specific?
They said civilian processing, medical screening, temporary shelter, same phrases as old checkpoint signs.
And then?
Then they separated us by age and medical check, took bags first. One of our guys asked to keep his knife. They hit him in the face with a rifle stock. That's when we knew.
Raiders and stolen gear.
We tried to run. One of them fired over us. Then more came out from the warehouse side. They weren't military, just men with uniforms and armbands and bad discipline, screaming at each other. They took my sister's backpack. They took our water.
How did you get out?
The dead came. I don't know from where. Probably the shot. We dropped low and went under a broken fence line. 3 of us got separated in the crush. We found one later. 2 are gone. Did the raiders pursue or hold position? They pulled back and started yelling, keep moving, like they were herding the dead away from their own lot. They've done this before.
That's useful. Organized ambush behavior.
Michael, I want people to hear this. They use the words people miss, federal, processing, relocation, aid. They say it like they're doing you a favor. Then they strip you.
I'm letting you say it because it's true and people need it. Do not approach any broadcast offering rescue unless it comes from a relay you already trust and can verify through second contact.
I keep replaying it. I should have known. I should have known by how clean the voice sounded.
Don't do that to yourself. They build these traps around grief and hope. That's the point.
My sister keeps asking if we can go back for the photo box they took. I told her no, but she thinks maybe they threw it aside.
You do not go back. Not for photos, not for bags, not for revenge. Those sites are layered traps now.
I know.
Did you notice any identifiers on the uniforms? Unit names, patches, markings?
One had an old U.S. Army patch. Another had no patches, just duct tape around the arm. One called another corporal, but it sounded fake, like a movie.
Good. That confirms stolen gear and roleplay command. We'll put this in the warning board.
Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
If anyone's listening and thinks a uniform means the old world is coming back, stop. The old world is gone. If somebody wants your trust, make them earn it in daylight with names, with repeat contact, not one voice on AM.
That's solid advice.
We lost 3 people because we wanted to believe somebody was still in charge.
You're not alone in that.
Thanks for letting me say it.
Thank you for calling, Sarah. Female caller Sarah confirms false military rescue broadcast ambush using stolen uniforms and warehouse trap. 8 survivors remaining from 11.
That's exactly why this hour matters.
We're going to do a technical segment now. Short version, how to identify fake military communications.
Rule 1. Real groups you trust usually sound messy. They know your names, your routes, your needs. Fake broadcasts sound polished and generic.
Rule 2. Beware official words with no local detail. Civilians' report for processing means nothing. 3 families move from 108th to church basement by noon is useful.
Rule 3. Verify through 2 channels if possible. Open broadcast and shortwave relay, or 2 different communities hearing the same message.
Rule 4. No real helper asks you to surrender your bags before proving who they are.
We also have a report from a listener who found an abandoned military command center. Equipment looked destroyed on purpose. That matters because it suggests some units denied gear before retreat or collapse.
Which means if you're hearing active command on those frequencies now, odds are high it's somebody reusing dead infrastructure.
And we need to mention the emergency alert system loops.
Right. In some areas, old emergency systems are still auto-playing preloaded warnings. Those are not live command. They confuse people into thinking someone is running the system. They're not.
We have another female caller reporting a safe zone frequency. Michael?
You're live. Name or alias, location, and what frequency did you hear?
Elaine, Harlem. Frequency was AM, low band. Couldn't write it fast enough. It kept repeating, safe zone Bravo, civilian intake open, military escort available.
Did they give location?
Randall's Island. They said to come by foot and carry white cloth.
That's a trap. We have no verified safe zone on Randall's Island.
My neighbor wants to go anyway. She says it sounds organized and she's got 2 kids.
Tell your neighbor this exactly. Any broadcast asking civilians to visibly mark themselves with white cloth is selecting easy targets. Do not go.
I thought so.
What's your local status? Head count, water, injuries.
10 people in 1 brownstone. 1 infected? I mean, maybe not infected, we don't know. Bite from 3 days ago. No fever till last night. Now fever and talking strange.
That's likely active turn risk. You need isolation immediately.
We put him in the basement room and tied the door. But his wife keeps trying to sit with him.
She cannot stay alone with him. I know that's cruel. It's also survival. 2 people minimum during checks. Door control maintained. No direct contact if symptoms escalate.
He's our landlord. He kept us all in the building after the lights went out. He was a good man.
I believe you. Good people turn too. That isn't a moral failure. It's the infection.
I know. I just needed to hear someone say it.
Do you have a plan if he turns fully?
Not a good one.
Then you make one now. Strongest adult on door control. Clear everyone else to upper floors. Identify 1 person who can act if he breaches. Do not improvise while panicking.
Okay.
Any kids in your group?
3. They know something's wrong.
Keep them away from the basement. Give them tasks upstairs, sorting water, folding cloth, anything. Children do better when they have jobs.
That's actually good advice.
We learn the hard way around here.
Michael, if he turns, his wife won't let us do what's needed.
Then don't frame it as a fight. Frame it as protecting everyone he already protected. Use his name. Use his wife's name. Keep voices low. Panic spreads faster than infection in a room.
Okay, I can do that.
And do not chase any Randall's Island broadcast. Your survival chance is higher where you already know the stairs, locks, and neighbors.
Thank you.
Harlem caller Elaine confirms false Safe Zone Bravo broadcast and possible active turn case in residential shelter. Isolate now. No marked cloth movement.
This whole hour is just people being hunted by the language of help.
That's exactly right.
It's noon, early afternoon, day 30. Next segment is when we didn't want to do this soon, but the calls forced it. New threats, old weapons. We're talking militarized survivor factions.
Not all threats are dead anymore. Some are organized. Some are former military. Some are civilians wearing uniforms. Some provide protection. Some extort communities. Most are a mix, depending on the day.
We have repeated reports about an ex-sergeant calling himself General Marcus and controlling parts of Staten Island and supply routes. Some callers say he keeps order. Others say he conscripts people and takes half their food.
That's occupation, not charity.
We also need to be honest. Some communities are turning to strongmen because the dead are everywhere and coordination is failing. People want structure.
Structure at gunpoint is still gunpoint.
We have a male caller asking whether groups like Marcus's are necessary. Jenny takes male callers. You're live. Name or alias, location, and tell me your situation.
David, Staten Island. We're a small building group. 9 people, 2 kids, 1 older woman on oxygen tanks that are almost empty. Marcus's men came by yesterday.
What did they want?
Enrollment, that's what they called it. Said they run defense, food distribution, curfew, labor assignments. They said every healthy adult has to report for duty rotation or pay double ration tax.
Did they identify themselves as military?
They said under General Marcus authority. One guy had sergeant stripes, another had none. They all had rifles. They were clean, organized, and they knew which buildings still had people. That's what scared me.
Did they threaten you directly?
Not at first. They were polite even. Then I asked what happens if we say no. The guy smiled and said, then you are outside the perimeter when the dead come.
That's a threat.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Their streets are quieter. They clear bodies. They post watches. Kids over there are eating. I hate them, but I get why people join.
That's the trap. They solve a real problem while creating a new one.
We can't defend our block alone. We just can't. We've got a crowbar, 2 bats, 1 old shotgun, and 10 shells. If Queens collapses harder and people push this way, we're done.
Your choices aren't just join Marcus or die. There are middle options. Have you contacted neighboring independent groups?
No, everybody's suspicious. Nobody wants to share numbers.
Then start there. A 3-building alliance beats a 9-person apartment hold. Shared watch, shared routes, shared noise discipline. You don't need a warlord to build a perimeter.
Marcus's men said independent groups are why the military failed. Said civilians need command, not committees.
That's propaganda wrapped in a half-truth. The military failed for 100 reasons, and too much civilian freedom isn't the one that gets to steal your food.
Yeah.
Did they mention conscription specifically?
They called it mandatory service. Men and women both. Guard duty, hauling supplies, salvage runs. Said refusal means expulsion from defended zones.
That's forced labor with a cleaner name.
But if the dead come, what am I supposed to do? Argue politics while my kids are upstairs?
No. You make a survival decision with open eyes. If you choose to cooperate, you do it knowing the cost and with your own fallback plan. If you refuse, you organize fast. What kills people is pretending there isn't a cost either way.
I needed to hear that from someone not carrying a rifle.
Here are your immediate steps. 1. Discreetly contact 2 nearby groups today. 2. Compare what Marcus is demanding from each of you. Strong men lie differently to different buildings. 3. Hide a backup cache before any enrollment inspection. 4. Decide your red line now. What demand makes you leave or resist?
Backup cache, red line. Okay.
If you do engage Marcus's men again, don't argue ideology. Ask logistics. What do you provide? How often? Who decides? What happens to injured workers? Tyrants hate specifics.
That's good.
It also tells you whether they're organized enough to survive or just organized enough to bully.
You think people like Marcus are the future?
I think people like Marcus appear when fear outruns trust. Whether they're the future depends on what communities build next.
That's on us then.
Mostly, yes.
Thank you, Jenny.
Staten Island Caller David confirms mandatory service, pressure, and ration extortion under General Marcus control zones. Communities should compare demands and organize before choosing.
That's the moral problem of this month in one call.
We also got a written message from a survivor community being extorted for protection by an armed group claiming former military authority. Same pattern. Take supplies, offer patrols, demand labor.
Some legitimate defense groups exist. Let's be fair about that. The difference is consent, transparency, and whether they can be questioned.
Good warning signs. If a group helps patrol and trades fairly, that's one thing. If they confiscate supplies, separate families, and punish questions, that's another.
Also, watch language. Anyone who says civilians like they're not one anymore is usually building a wall between power and everybody else.
Emergency update. New Queens relay just came in. Horde has reached outer neighborhoods near multiple routes. Survivor communities are evacuating.
Read it clean.
Queens east side barriers breached in 2 sectors. Movement larger than estimated. Civilian groups moving west and south on foot. Avoid major roads. Repeat, avoid major roads.
There it is. Queen's utter defenses are failing.
We need to keep the line open for evacuation coordination.
Do it. And we move into the afternoon with the memorial hour we planned. When the uniform fell, we stick to it, because people need context, and they need to grieve while they move. It's 2 o'clock, mid-afternoon on day 30. You're listening to Red Zone Radio. This segment is When the Uniform Fell. We are dedicating this hour to the military dead, military families, and the survivors who watched the uniform collapse from the inside and outside.
This is not about blame for the sake of blame. It's about understanding what happened and honoring people who were sent into something nobody knew how to stop.
We start with a tribute to service members lost during the first weeks, especially around New York. Some names are confirmed, some are family submitted and unconfirmed. We say them anyway because the families asked us to.
Memorial Roll Call, Day 30, afternoon. Private First Class Daniel Chen, reported loss during Fort Hamilton perimeter failure. Sergeant Jacob Miller, National Guard, missing after Day 11 convoy dispatch. Family requests memorial listing. Specialist Marissa Holt, Brooklyn Bridge screening detail, unconfirmed. Lieutenant Aaron Pike, Staten Island Evacuation Route Command, presumed dead. Corporal Luis Mendoza, Queens Checkpoint Unit, remains unidentified but family submitted tag number. Captain Harold Green, Fort Hamilton Operations, last heard ordering non-combatants moved.
We remember them.
We remember all of them.
We have a female caller who witnessed a military checkpoint being overrun in the early days. Michael handles female callers.
You're live. Name or alias, location, and take your time.
Renee. I'm in Brooklyn now. Back on day 9, I was with my brother near a checkpoint by a bridge approach. We thought if we got there early, we'd get through screening and maybe get to a safer area.
Start with what you saw when you arrived.
Soldiers. Real ones. Tired. Yelling. Trying to keep lines separate. Families in one lane, single people in another, and a medical tent area. They were checking bites. People were screaming because nobody wanted to be separated.
Did it seem organized at first?
For maybe 20 minutes. Then an ambulance came in and people started shouting, infected, before it even stopped. One soldier at the barrier looked like he didn't sleep in days. He kept saying, "Stay in line, stay in line." Then gunfire from somewhere behind the tents.
And the checkpoint broke?
Not right away. That's what I remember. They tried. They really tried. Officers were yelling orders. Some soldiers held the line. One of them pulled a little girl behind the barricade when her mom fell. I still remember that.
Then the crowd panicked and pushed the barriers, and once one side broke, everything moved at once.
Did you see the dead breach the checkpoint?
Yeah, from the side, not the front. People kept watching the front because that's where the guns were. The dead came through the bus lane on the side. Soldiers turned to cover it. Then people rushed the opening. Some civilians got shot by accident. Then more dead came, and it wasn't a checkpoint anymore. It was everybody trying to get through everybody.
I'm sorry you had to see that.
My brother got us out. He shoved me under one of those metal railings and dragged me. We lost our bags. We lost his inhaler. We didn't stop until dark.
No. Day 17, Bite on a scavenging run. He made me promise not to waste ammo on him because we didn't have any. We used a hammer. I still hear him apologizing.
Renee, I'm sorry.
I called because people keep saying the military abandoned us. Some did, maybe. I don't know. But at that checkpoint, those soldiers stayed. I watched them stay while everybody else ran.
Thank you for saying that. It matters.
One soldier had blood all over his face and still kept lifting kids over the barrier. He couldn't have been older than 20. I don't know his name. I just don't want him forgotten.
He won't be forgotten on this frequency.
Thank you.
One question for record. Do you remember any unit marking, name patch, or checkpoint number?
I remember guard on one truck and a sign that said screening point 4. That's all.
That's enough. Brooklyn witness Renee confirms checkpoint overrun. Pattern: side lane breach, crowd compression, soldiers holding line under impossible conditions. Thank you for calling.
Thank you for listening.
That's what people need to hear. Not just they failed, but what it looked like minute to minute.
Yeah.
We should talk Fort Hamilton. It's come up in messages all week.
Fort Hamilton was one of the last known military strongholds in the NYC area to hold organized command for more than the first phase. We don't have full records. What we have are survivor fragments, final convoy movements, perimeter collapse reports, and family messages that stopped mid-thread.
We have one family submitted final message from a private's mother. She asked us to read it. Not a sound recording, just the words he sent before contact stopped.
Go ahead.
Mom, we're contained for now. Base is compromised, but we're still holding sections. Tell Dad we tried. We really tried. Don't come here. Please don't come here. That was day 12. They deserved better than this. My cousin Jake was National Guard. He left on day 2. We got one message on day 4 saying they were redirecting civilians and everything's under control. That was the last one. I keep doing this show, and part of me still expects him to walk in and tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong for hoping.
I know. Every time we read a guard name, I hear his voice.
Then keep saying the names. That's how we carry people now.
Okay, we have a male caller who says he was military and wants to explain what chain of command collapse looked like from inside. Jenny takes male callers.
You're live. Name or alias, and you can keep the unit vague if you need to.
Use James, former Army, not giving unit. I'm in upstate now with a shelter group.
Understood, James. Tell us what happened from your side.
First days felt like normal emergency chaos, just bigger. Bad intel, moving civilians, setting checkpoints, rotating watches. We were told infection was contained incidents. Then we started losing people inside positions, not from fighting, from exposure. Med tents became threat zones. Orders changed every few hours.
Were you told the real infection rates?
No, we got fragments. One officer would say isolated bites. Another would say full quarantine posture. We didn't know who had authority anymore. Radios were jammed with civilian calls, unit calls, med calls, all at once.
When did you know collapse was happening?
When we got an order to hold a corridor for evac buses that never arrived. We held 6 hours, lost people. Civilians kept asking where the buses were. We didn't know. Then command told us to redirect to a second corridor, then a third. Contradictory orders. Some of us started saying out loud what nobody wanted to say. There was no bigger plan coming.
What happened to your chain of command?
It thinned. Officers went dark one by one. Some got hit, some left to check other sectors and never came back. Our CEO finally told us to use best judgment for civilian protection. That's military language for we're out of command.
Did people desert to find families?
Yes, and before anybody listening judges them, understand this. We were getting civilian faces at the barriers all day. Wives, kids, parents, men asking if we'd seen their daughters, women holding babies with fevers. You can preach duty until your own wife's name comes over a static line.
Nobody here is judging you.
I left. That's why I called. I ordered my guys to hold a stairwell while I went to check a relay report about my daughter. I told myself I'd be back in 10 minutes. I wasn't. I found my daughter. I didn't go back.
James.
They died because I didn't go back.
You don't know that. And even if they did, the command structure failed you long before that stairwell. You were making impossible choices with bad orders and no support.
I still wear my tags. Feels like a debt.
Then pay the debt by helping who you're with now. Teach them what works. Watch rotations, perimeter discipline, quiet movement, medical isolation. That's worth more than guilt.
We've been doing that. I train 2 kids every morning how to move a hallway without panicking.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
People ask if military tactics failed. Some did. Tight formations, fixed positions, waiting for orders. But discipline didn't fail. Training didn't fail. The system failed. The people under it did what they could.
That's an important distinction.
Tell that to the families if you can. Tell them some of us stayed until there was nothing left to stay with.
I just did, and I'll repeat it.
Thank you, Jenny.
Former military caller James confirms chain of command collapse pattern, contradictory orders, missing evac support, command fragmentation, and duty versus family decisions under total system failure.
That's one of the hardest calls we've taken in a while.
Yeah.
We still need to close the hour with practical reality. Military tactics failed against this enemy for specific reasons. Rules of engagement lagged infection speed. Close quarters magnified spread. Fixed checkpoints became crowd traps. Command assumptions broke faster than doctrine updated.
And none of that means the soldiers didn't try.
Right.
Emergency update coming in now from Queen's relays. Multiple breaches. Outer defenses compromised. Civilian groups evacuating westbound and southbound. Some routes already congested.
Read the strongest route advice we have.
Avoid major roads. Avoid bridge approaches until scouts confirm passability. Move in small groups. Carry water only, not bulk food. Do not stop at any broadcast-marked aid stations.
If you're in Brooklyn and can receive evacuees from Queens, prepare now. Water first, isolation protocol second, names and head counts third. Don't let chaos into the building. Organize it.
We also have to start preparing people for what happens when the horde pressure reaches farther west.
We know. That starts next hours. Weapon recovery, quarantine reality, and station defense decisions. But for this section, we're closing with the facts we know.
Day 30, morning through mid-afternoon summary. 1. Queen's horde movement is real and larger than earlier estimates. 2. False government and military broadcasts are still active and being used to ambush survivors. 3. Militarized survivor groups are consolidating power in some areas, including Staten Island reports tied to General Marcus. 4. Military collapse accounts continue to confirm command failure, not simple cowardice.
And 5. Communities that keep disciplined routines, water, isolation, quiet movement, route planning, are still holding. That's the important part. People are still holding.
We are too.
This is Red Zone Radio, Day 30, still broadcasting. If you're moving from Queens, send head counts when you stop. If you're holding in Brooklyn or the Bronx, prep to receive. If you're alone, stay on this frequency and listen for the next board.
We remember the dead. We protect the living. We keep the lines open.
This is Michael Hale, Red Zone Radio. Day 30, late afternoon. If you're just finding us, stay on this frequency. Queens evac routes are active. False aid broadcasts are still circulating, and we are live.
I'm Jenny Cross. Time is a little after 4. We're moving into Survivor's Arsenal because people need practical guidance right now. Military gear scavenging, ammunition safety, and how not to die trying to arm your group.
Quick reminder, a weapon is not safety by itself. If your group has no training, bad discipline, and no plan, a weapon creates panic faster than protection.
Same call protocol as always. Female callers go to Michael, male callers come to me. No switching mid-call.
Queen's emergency lane stays open. If you're moving, call with head count, injuries, and direction. Nothing more.
Mail caller online. Go ahead. Name or alias, location, and what you found.
Rick, Staten Island. We went back to that Humvee site. We found rifles and what looks like ammo under a tarp, but there's a wire near the rear wheel. We backed off.
Good. Group size and injuries?
4 people, no injuries.
Treat the wire like a trap until proven otherwise. Do not touch the vehicle yet. Watch from cover, inspect with binoculars, and assume somebody may be watching it too.
We saw more dead this time, a few in uniform near the tents.
Then it's a contested salvage site. That changes the mission. Don't go back for everything. Go back for one objective and leave fast. We need weapons. Queen's evacuees are coming through, and Marcus's guys are taking whatever they can.
I know, but if you rush a trapped military site, you lose people before you even fire a shot. Prioritize recoverable supplies. Clean ammo, gloves, tools, maybe medical kits. Don't grab rifles unless someone in your group can maintain them.
Nobody really can.
Then your first weapon is not a rifle. It's discipline. If you recover gear, chamber check everything, keep ammo sorted, and don't let anyone figure it out with a loaded rifle in a hallway.
That's for my cousin.
Then say it to your cousin exactly like that.
Marcus's men offered to secure the site if we gave them the location. They'd give us 2 rifles.
Bad trade. They get the cash, the route, and your intel. You get scraps and lose leverage. Keep it quiet unless you're ready to surrender control.
Got it.
One more thing. If Queen's evacuees are reaching your area, prep water and triage before ammo. Hungry, scared people need structure more than gun racks.
Copy. Thanks, Jenny.
That's the pattern now. People chasing military leftovers when what they really need is water, route discipline, and a watch schedule.
Queen's emergency update. New relay says multiple breach points confirmed. Horde count estimated 5,000 plus, still moving in waves.
Direction matters more than exact count. If you're evacuating, avoid major roads, avoid gunfire if possible, and don't cluster. Noise is redirecting side swarms.
Female caller from Queens wants guidance on whether to hold or evacuate. Michael takes it.
You're live. Name or alias, group status, and what you're seeing.
Marisol, Queens. 3 buildings, about 20 people. Some want to hold for missing family, others want to move now. We hear impacts and screaming east of us.
Able-bodied adults, weapons, any bites.
12 adults, 3 guns, low ammo. 1 possible bite case isolated.
Then you do not hold the street. Your mission is controlled delay while non-combatants move. Streets will get you killed.
Older men want to defend the block.
Buildings and choke points buy time. Sidewalk heroics get people trapped. Split now. Escort team, delay team, supply team. Children and elderly move first. 1 blanket per kid, water, meds, no heavy bags.
We have 1 Army Reserve guy.
Use him for organization, not domination. Clear mission. Evacuate civilians, not conquer the neighborhood.
My sister's still out looking for her husband.
You cannot hold 20 people in place for 1 missing adult if the horde is already in your sector. Leave a discreet marker, a note if you can, and move. That is not abandoning her. That is preserving the people still in your hands.
Okay.
If the bite case is unstable, she travels last with designated escorts, or stays isolated with a plan. No denial, no chaos. Procedure.
She's my cousin.
I know. Procedure anyway.
We move in 5.
Good. Call back with head count when you stop. Queen's caller Marisol beginning controlled evacuation. Delay and move, not stand and fight.
That's the whole day right there. People trying to decide whether courage means staying or moving.
Most days now, courage means moving early.
We're shifting into infection protocol reality check. This one matters because people keep repeating military quarantine rules like they were gospel. They weren't.
We have enough evidence now to say it clearly. Military infection protocols failed because they were too slow, too centralized, and too dependent on authorization, while the infection moved faster than command.
Male caller says he found military medical documents at an abandoned field site. Jenny takes it.
You're live. Name or alias, and tell me what the document said.
Omar, Long Island Edge. Found burned binders at a field hospital site. My wife used to be a nurse. She says they were tracking conversion intervals and waiting for authorization before acting.
Group safe? No injuries?
3 of us. Safe.
Any mention of treatment or immunity?
No cure. Mostly symptom timing, isolation notes, and 1 handwritten line. Authorization delayed again.
That matches what we've heard elsewhere. Delay killed people.
My brother was Army. He told us command was lying about spread. He died day 11.
I'm sorry, Omar.
My shelter wants to copy military quarantine exactly. My wife says it'll get us killed.
Your wife is right. Civilian shelters cannot copy failed military protocol just because it sounds official. Keep what worked. Zones, logs, designated watchers. No freelancing. Throw out what failed. Delayed decisions, overcrowded observation, waiting for permission. So bite means isolate immediately. No debate. Exactly. Notebook logs too. Time of bite, symptoms, fever, behavior changes, contacts. Sleep-deprived memory fails fast.
We stopped writing things down. We'll start again.
Any rumors in your shelter about immunity?
Constantly.
No verified immune cases. None. Do not risk your whole shelter because someone looks fine after a bite.
Got it. Thanks, Jenny.
Keep what worked, not what looked official. That's the lesson.
We also have a medic journal excerpt from an abandoned clinic. Ordered to maintain infected soldiers in containment for observation. Euthanasia authorization denied. They are turning in the cells. We are not a hospital anymore. We are a waiting room.
That's what command delay sounds like.
Queen's update. Evacuation still active. Horde estimate still 5,000 plus and spreading in waves. We need to address the question we've been getting nonstop.
We're not evacuating the station yet. We're fortifying and continuing broadcast because route coordination is saving lives. But yes, we have contingency plans if we lose the building. It's 8 o'clock. Chains of command broken. We're talking about the moment military orders stopped matching reality.
Mail caller. Former officer. Jenny takes it.
You're live. Go ahead.
James, former officer. People ask when command collapsed. It wasn't one order. It was when all the orders started contradicting each other. Hold, fall back, await reinforcements. No reinforcements. Protect assets. There were no assets left, just civilians and dead.
Final clear order you received.
Maintain corridor for civilian movement until relieved. Nobody relieved us.
Did your people know the system was gone?
Soldiers always know before civilians do. We stayed because the people in front of us were real, even if command behind us wasn't.
Did officers leave posts to find family?
Yes, some selfishly, some because they got calls their homes were hit, some because they broke. Anyone judging from a distance is lying.
What should survivors keep from military culture?
Discipline, watch rotations, quiet movement, accountability. Lose blind faith in distant command. Build local truth.
That's exactly right.
Tell families some of us stayed as long as there was anything left to hold.
I will.
That's the story of collapse. Contradiction, not just combat.
Station perimeter update. Trusted local scouts report horde pressure now about 2 miles out by movement spread.
Station defense prep is active. We're staying on air.
Male evac caller from Queens is pinned near a school lot. Jenny takes it. Name, head count, injuries, and what you can see.
Ben, 14 people, 2 kids, 1 leg injury. We're penned in a side lot by a school. Street north has dead drifting. Bigger mass east.
Weapons?
1 pistol, 4 rounds, 1 wrench.
Then you are not fighting through. Check if you can get into the school. Maintenance door, side access, anything.
Doors are chained, windows barred.
Then use the alley west. Quiet movement only. Can you get eyes over the chain fence first?
Yeah, okay. Narrow path, dumpsters, no dead visible.
That's your route. Injured adult in the middle with 2 supports. Kid center front. 1 panicking adult gets a job. Rear visual, simple signal if movement closes.
Okay.
Leave a discrete marker for separated family. Tape low, pointing west. Then move.
Done. Moving. Alley. 1 dead near the wall. Moving. Moving.
Front keeps moving. Do not bunch up. Rear peels wide.
We're past it. All through. All 14 still moving.
Good.
Get cover next block and call back with head count. You just survived the worst part.
That is why we stay on air.
Yeah.
10 o'clock, Echoes of Authority. We need to talk about what comes after military collapse, rank systems, councils, and what kind of order is worth rebuilding.
Male caller from Upper Manhattan has a shelter leadership conflict. Jenny takes it. Go ahead.
3 linked buildings, 12 adults, 5 kids. Half want military-style command. Half want group votes on everything. We're wasting time.
Then stop arguing ideology and assign functions. Water lead, watch lead, medical lead, route lead. Clear responsibilities, daily check-ins, backups for each role. That's discipline without a warlord.
We have a former Marine. He won't lead, but he'll train routines.
Perfect. Let him teach movement and watch discipline. Don't force trauma into leadership.
What do we keep from military values?
Discipline, sacrifice, showing up tired, clear communication. What do you lose? Blind obedience, secrecy, and rank worship.
That helps. A lot.
That's the future question. What survives? Skills or authority?
Emergency update. Outer defense groups are now actively engaging horde edges in multiple sectors. Casualties reported. They're asking for water, bandages, and route coordination more than ammo.
There it is again. Logistics wins. Panic fire loses.
We've also set a backup transmitter loop in case this booth goes dark. Route board format and frequency list only. No speeches, just survival info.
We're not saying goodbye. We're planning like survivors.
Ben is back. Mail caller. Jenny takes it.
Ben, head count.
14. All 14. Storage room now, west of the school. No bites.
Good. Stay quiet 10 minutes, then reassess. Assign jobs and keep the panicking caller occupied again.
It worked. Thank you.
Keep moving smart. Call only if route collapses.
Midnight. Final hour of day 30. Still standing. This is now live coordination only. Horde pressure is on nearby sectors.
I'm watching the hallway monitor and rooftop relay cam. We've got visible movement at the far end of the block. Strays first, more behind them. Volunteer defense groups are in position.
We do not give exact station location. If you're assigned to this sector defense, use challenge phrases from the relay board. No open frequency hero talk.
Reports coming in. Multiple Queens groups made it through because they followed route coordination. That is real. People are alive tonight because they moved when they should and ignored fake aid signals.
Male caller says he's leading a mixed defense group toward our sector. Jenny takes it.
Name, position marker, status.
Martinez, former sergeant. Mixed civilian and ex-military group, 23 total, 8 armed. Moving from 2 blocks south to reinforce. Objective is diversion, not stand and fight.
Route and formation.
Laundromat row, behind clinic. Avoid main avenue. Scouts front, supplies center, rear blockers. Civilians are choosing alley routes. They know the ground better.
Good. Integrated roles, not rank cosplay.
Learned the hard way. Some ex-military guys wanted command. Civilians ignored them and saved us twice.
Any contact with Marcus-type groups?
They offered to take command if we gave ammo and route maps. We declined.
Good.
Put this on air. Former military listening. Stop trying to rebuild the old chain. Bring training. Lose the ego. We're not military anymore. We're something new.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Skills matter. Ego gets people killed. Civilians, ex-military, whoever's left. We build this together or we don't build it at all.
Any plan after tonight?
Yes. Integrated defense rotation. Ex-military train discipline. Civilians run supply and route intel. Leadership voted weekly. No permanent commanders.
That's the best model we've heard tonight.
Saving philosophy for later. We're setting the first noise pole now. If this call drops, keep broadcasting.
We will.
Security feed update?
The front cluster is turning. The diversion is working. They're pulling a slice off the civilian route.
Repeat for listeners.
Defense groups are successfully funneling part of the horde away from civilian lanes. If you're nearby, stay off main streets and don't run toward noise.
We're also receiving successful evac check-ins from Brooklyn and Western routes. People are getting through.
Female caller with a group of 18, sheltering temporarily, needs water route advice. Michael takes it.
You're live. Name, head count, current shelter, and injuries.
Lisa, 18 people, 6 kids. Back room of a shop, shutters mostly down. No bites. 1 wrist sprain, 1 asthma issue. 2 missing from earlier.
Water status.
Almost none.
Then your next move is water, not distance. Send 2 scouts only, no kids, to check the nearest likely building. Church, school, apartment with tanks. Everyone else stays dark and quiet.
My son keeps asking if we're going home.
Tell him tonight you're finding the next safe room. 1 step at a time. That's a child-sized truth he can carry.
Okay.
Names of the missing?
Tommy and Ava. Tommy's 8, blue backpack. Ava's 16, red hoodie tied at the waist.
Logged. We'll repeat them on the relay board.
Thank you.
Avoidance remains your strategy. 2 scouts, verify route, then move the group only on confirmed information. Ignore any broadcast promising transport.
We will.
Put Tommy and Ava on repeat.
Done.
Martinez's second pull point is working. It's ugly, but it's bending the horde away from the block.
30 days ago, the military fell under infection, delay, and broken command. Tonight, civilians and former soldiers with radios and alley maps are holding together what they can.
Not heroes, just people showing up.
That's enough.
Last mail caller before close. Brooklyn shelter taking in Queens evacuees, asking how to organize without creating another Marcus. Jenny takes it.
Go ahead. Nolan, we took in 3 groups tonight. We've got a former guard medic, 2 mechanics, and a school custodian running supplies better than anyone. We need structure without tyranny.
Start tonight with 3 teams. Supply, medical/isolation, watch/routes. 1 lead each, 1 backup each. No permanent titles. Function names only. Reevaluate every morning.
Good.
Set 1 shelter rule before sleep. No one leaves alone at dawn. Panic scavenging destroys trust.
Already had 1 guy try.
Make him water lead. Give him responsibility.
Done.
Use former military people for training, not automatic command. Skills matter. Rank culture doesn't.
Families we took in tonight moved smarter because they were listening to you. They moved like groups, not a stampede.
Keep them together. That's what matters now.